that tolerance setting is used in more areas than you would think. If I make a selection, let's say I select an area like this, there's a choice under the Select menu called Grow. Grow means make my selection larger, but only include colors similar to what I have in the selection. So when I choose Grow, do you see how it's selected across a lot more of the sky? Well, that command, which was under the Select menu, was called Grow. It uses the tolerance setting in the Magic Wand tool to figure out how much it should vary from the colors you already have. So if I want it to be more precise, I could grab my Magic Wand tool, bring my tolerance to 0, and now that means only select colors that are exactly the same as what I have selected. So I make this selection like this, with my tolerance of the Magic Wand at 0, Grow. It's a much smaller area that it's adding than if the tolerance was up at its default setting, which is 32. I'm not saying that's a great selection, but the other command that uses the tolerance setting of the Magic Wand tool is not just the Grow feature, but the one called Similar. The difference between the two is Grow tries to create one unbroken chunk, meaning it can't leap across these telephone lines and get to the sky over here. It can't go inside the handle of the thing because there's an obstruction that would make that two chunks, not one unbroken one. So if I choose Grow, it means one unbroken chunk. If I choose Similar, it means everywhere in the entire document. Although it didn't seem to go over that side anyway, because this is where closer to the sun, so this is brighter in the sky than there. If I do it with my tolerance set higher, I'll just put it up to the default, you might notice it a little bit more. Grow. Made it over there, but see how it didn't get inside the handle? Didn't get over here because this line here was a big enough obstruction? Choose Undo. Similar. It did get inside the handle. It found colors in the middle of the teapot, and that kind of thing. Look across the entire document. So if you ever use Grow or Similar, know that if they seem to act a little bit odd any time you use it, it's because you did something with the Magic Wand tool a while ago and you changed the tolerance setting. And so it's not acting the way you'd expect. Okay? I'm not saying Grow and Similar are the most useful commands, but sometimes they're really nice. If you got a logo, maybe, you select one little part of the logo, choose Similar, you got the whole logo, as long as the background was a different color. So in this particular case, might not be the most useful tool, but it can be useful on occasion. All right, then, once you have a selection, let's say I had that top of the sign selected, or maybe I had around this area here selected. Use my Magic Wand and take away. Got a nice little selection there. Isn't that much faster than tracing it with the lasso tool? Sometimes it's much easier to select what you don't want and then tell Photoshop to give you the opposite of it. Because what you do want might be overly complex. A blue sky is usually much simpler than anything else in the photograph. And if what you want is what touches the blue sky, sometimes select the blue sky. And then you can tell Photoshop to give you the opposite. So let's say I selected the blue sky over here. Just click on it like that. Blue sky is selected, but I really wanted the pumps and the trees and all that other stuff. You can go to the Select menu and choose Inverse. Inverse gives you the opposite. It's hard to tell, but right now this area is selected instead of the sky. But that's true with any selection tool. So if I get into advanced selection tools, know that oftentimes I'll simply look at what is simpler, the thing I wanted to select or everything else. And if everything else is simpler, then I'll switch my mindset and say, I'm going to select that background, and then choose Inverse. So just a simple idea. So in this case, I want to select just the red band around this pump. So how could I do it? Well, I could make a selection like this, mindset-wise, use the Magic Wand tool, take away the sky, and take away the center. Right? So the Magic Wand